Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Reganini, your teacher, speaking here. Now, I'm going to have you guys do a little assignment before you come to class tomorrow. As you know, we've been discussing World War II, and tomorrow we're actually going to start discussing the Pacific Theater. Namely, we're going to discuss the attack on Pearl Harbor made by the Japanese on December 7th, 1941. Now, I'm actually going to be reading President Roosevelt's speech to the nation to you guys after the attack itself. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because we are actually going to compare his speech and President Bush's speech that he gave after the attacks on 9/11. That's going to be your activity for tomorrow. But for today, what I really want you guys to focus on is the words that Roosevelt uses in his speech, especially the strong, powerful words, imagery, and the repetition that he uses in the middle of the speech describing the different areas that the Japanese attacked. So sit tight, grab a pencil, piece of paper, and get ready to take some notes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Now, before I begin reading this speech, I want to remind you guys that you guys will be looking for and taking notes on the powerful word use of the president, the strong imagery, and the repetition of words also used in this speech. So, this speech is about 4 minutes long, so sit back, take a few notes, and here we go. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation, and at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government and its emperor looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. Indeed, 1 hour after Japanese air squadrons had commenced bombing in the American island of Oahu, the Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague delivered to our Secretary of State a formal reply to a recent American message. And while this reply stated that it seemed useless to continue the existing diplomatic negotiations, it contained no threat or hint of war of an armed attack. It will be recorded that the distance of Hawaii from Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days or even weeks before this. During the intervening time, the Japanese government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American naval and military forces. I regret to tell you that very many American lives had been lost. Now, you guys need to know that about 3,000 Americans were actually killed as a result of these attacks. In addition, American ships have been reported torpedoed on the high seas between San Francisco and Honolulu. Yesterday, the Japanese government also launched an attack against Malaya. Last night, the Japanese forces attacked Hong Kong. Last night, Japanese forces attacked Guam. Last night, Japanese forces attacked the Philippine Islands. Last night, the Japanese attacked Wake Island. And this morning, the Japanese attacked Midway Island. Japan has therefore taken a surprise offense extending throughout the Pacific area. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. The people of the United States have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications to the very life and safety of our nation. As Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, I have directed that all measures be taken for our defense, but always will our whole nation remember the character of the onslaught against us. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory. I believe that I interpret the will of the Congress and of the people when I assert that we will not only defend ourselves to the uttermost, we will make it very certain that this form of treachery shall never again endanger us. Hostilities exist. There is no blinking at the fact that our people, our territory, and our interests are in grave danger. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounded determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph, so help us God. I ask that Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire. I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. Now remember, I want you to come to class tomorrow with a few notes taken on this speech because, as I mentioned in the beginning, we will be comparing this to President Bush's speech after the 9/11 attacks. So, get some rest tonight. We got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. So, see you then.